What's going on, world? Been a long time since I was last here, but I feel like today is important. I got a couple of things I want to update everybody on. Since the last time I was here, we're talking about this group called Fihankra, which is I've been talking about it since I've been doing videos, and it's been a while. But the last time I was here, I wasn't really that well versed on the subject. But since then, I've become a lot more involved. I've become a lot more informed and educated on what exactly the situation is that's unfolding there. I've actually joined the group. I've actually been talking to some of the sworn members and finding out um, what's really going on the ground right now and what's needed to help move the process forward. Um, so the first thing I want to talk about is just kind of rehashing on what exactly Fihankra is and where it is right now and how we can kind of get involved and help the process of, what Ghana is trying to do in the sense of mass repatriation. So, short overview. Fihankra is a word that means literally when leaving home, no goodbyes could be said. It is the name that was given to a reservation of land by the Akwamu people in Ghana, which is a tribe that decided that they wanted to set aside this large reservation of land for not just African Americans, but the entire African diaspora. That means African Americans, African Brazilians, African Caribbeans, Haitians, uh, Ricans, you name it. Melanated people all over the world are what makes up the African diaspora. So Fihankra was created to be a home or a first place of reuniting for Africans all over the world that want to reunite in Ghana, which is why Ghana is called the gateway to the homeland. So this is something that was done over a decade ago, but it has not been advertised. Nobody really knows about it. It hasn't really been promoted, and there's not really a lot of participation. There's some, but there's issues even with some of the regions of Fihankra not being able to locate enough sworn members in their region. Not even some of them needing as few as 1 to 5 members. So there's small issues that need to be resolved, but part of that, and a big part of that, is us not knowing about it, us not being involved in it, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the things that's coming up right now is Fihankra's actual anniversary, the birthday, if you will, of the creation of the agreement, the land, and et cetera. And so right now what we're trying to do is, given the short amount of time, we're talking about December 9th. I've actually recently joined the group, officially joined. The last time I was talking about it, I had a lot of people asking me about how do you get involved, how do you join, is it even a real thing? We were talking about Fihankra and the Ghana Josephs Project. Yes, they are real things, and now I know a lot more about Fihankra. I know how we can actually join, how we can sign up to be sworn members, and then how we can have discussions with actual leadership to try to move some of these issues along. When you read about Fihankra online, it's kind of very limited information. You kind of hear the same story over and over. It was given to us, and then there was conflict, and now it sits in a state of incomplete disarray. You don't know what's going on, who's in charge, et cetera, et cetera. It's made it seem like it's just this big cluster that can never be solved, and it's actually not. You can actually reach out to the very people who need to have these discussions, and we can actually be a part of these changes. I've actually been trying to do that myself, so that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. So that's what Fihankra is. It's a reservation of land that was set aside for us to be able to return home, and start building our own nation. Uh, and right now, it needs attention. It needs our input. You know, um, it needs our input. Right now, the majority of people who are migrating over into Africa, especially into Ghana and some of the developing countries, they don't look like us. They're not us. They're from other places. They have other intentions. They have other motives and goals, and it shows in the way that the country is changing. So right now is our chance to kind of get over there and take advantage of what they're trying to do for us, which I think is great. I know it's the middle of the night, so most people are probably going to see this video later, but that's fine. I just wanted to get this information out there as soon as possible because, again, we only have 3 days to start preparing for this unified ceremony that we want to do. So Fihankra, number one, this is what it is, and it needs our attention. Number two, one of the ideas that we came up with in the group discussions between myself and a whole lot of other sworn members was the idea of African Repatriation Day, which would be a great idea to have on the same day as Fihankra's anniversary, which is December 9th. I thought it was a brilliant idea, and I thought that one of the ways that we could get more people involved is by doing a quick campaign to let everybody know about it. We got some graphic designers from the group that are going to help us come up with some memes that we can start sharing. I'm going to make one of them African Repatriation Day memes is what I'm talking about. I'm going to have one of them as my profile picture. I'm going to start sharing the rest, and I think that it would be a great idea for all of the people who follow me, all the people who follow the Repatriation group, to actually start sharing these memes. Right now, we've got about 3 days to try to kind of build up some kind of trend, try to get more people involved. Um, and I think it's great. You know, a lot of people don't know about it, and what's a better time than the anniversary to get people informed about the ceremony. African Repatriation Day was an idea that came up from someone else in the group, and we're just trying to think of a way to get more people involved. Why? Because one of the things that we want to do on that day is a libation, which is that's the third thing I wanted to touch on quickly. Libation is basically just a word that means pouring out a little bit of water on to honor your ancestors and the fact that they're not here anymore. It's kind of similar. We do something in African American culture where we could be drinking alcohol and we'll pour a little bit out for our dead homies. It's the same exact concept, except for you're not pouring out poisons alcohol. You're going to pour out a little bit of water for the sustenance of life, in remembrance of your ancestors and their sacrifices. It's a very simple ceremony. It's not long. It's not drawn out. It's not something you can do right or wrong. It's something that you do, and you say your own words out of your heart to thank your ancestors for what they done for you, and you pour out a little bit of water. You try to make sure it hits the earth, not the concrete, etc., etc., and you move on. But the fact of us doing it in a unified manner on a global scale is very powerful. And not only that, it speaks to our unity if we're able to raise some kind of awareness in just 3 days to let people know that this is what we want to do on Fihankra's birthday. It does a lot of things. It makes us all participate in this global libation ceremony, which I'm sure our ancestors will greatly appreciate and love to see us coming around. It informs a lot of people about Fihankra, period, which a lot of us just don't know. It raises awareness, and it prepares us, a lot of us, in our head for the idea of repatriation, period. To have a day for it, I think, would be great. We don't have to. We know that it's not going to become an official European holiday. We're not aiming for that, but just amongst ourselves, if we can make that something that we honor, that we look to, that we celebrate every year, that would be an amazing accomplishment. Especially given the fact right now we only have 3 days. So today is the seventh, or I believe it's the seventh now. In most places. So we've got today, tomorrow, and the 9th, the day of the 9th, to actually raise awareness, get people involved, get people hyped up, get people to share the memes, get people to share the idea, and then on the 9th, actually get people to tune in. I'm going to do, like the last time I did the manifestation ritual live, which I think was great. I want to do also the global libation ceremony live, which is probably not going to take a long time. I just want to, on Fihankra's birthday, get up, do another quick hash of what exactly Fihankra is and what we're trying to accomplish, and then actually say, my own personal thank yous to my ancestors for what they did and what they are doing right now and how they're moving right now and making us, come aware and making us come together. Thank them for all that and pour out, a little libation for them. 4 weeks is a month. Did nobody ask you? Pour out the libation for them and in their honor, and the more of us do that together is the more of a powerful ceremony. So the other thing I want to touch on really quick is how you can get involved with Fihankra. So the last time I was asked, I wasn't sure. So now I'm a little bit more informed on it. There's a group on Facebook called Repatriating to Africa with an exclamation mark at the end. And what they do is kind of what I do, but they've been doing it a lot longer, which is just reach out to people, try to get them interested in repatriation, et cetera, et cetera. But this group is specifically aligned more so with Fihankra. So they are actually, they've actually been getting people signed up for years. It's the place that you can actually go to speak with sworn members, become a sworn member, get added to the conversations, et cetera, et cetera. It's Repatriating to Africa. You have to get approved, so you have to send a message, whatever. You might want to say that I told you about it. But once you're in that group and you start having discussions with the other members, you'll probably more than likely get invited to the private conversations where we're discussing things like this. Um, so quick, Fihankra, it's a land reserve that was given to us, to global Africans, for us to come home. It's been trying to develop into an established um, I'll just call it an established nation for over a decade now. It needs us to put our input. It needs us to get together with the leaders and actually move some of these issues forward that have been stagnating for a long time. The way to join the group is through Repatriating to Africa group, which is on Facebook. What we're trying to do right now is raise awareness for African Repatriation Day, which is what we want to do on December 9th, starting now and moving forward every year. And we want to get more people to participate in our global libation ceremony on December 9th, which is to pour out water for the ancestors. Very simple ceremony, very powerful though. So I don't necessarily have a lot of time to answer a lot of questions. I know it's the middle of the night, but I did want to touch down on that because I think it's very important. And if we can get involved and we can make this happen, it speaks to our capabilities. And we know that visible progress inspires. If we can actually say, hey, this is what we want to do, and then give us 3 days, and we actually got people talking about it, people participating, and then we do this libation ceremony, and we got people tuned in and watching, and just to be able to accomplish that in just 3 days, I think speaks to our capabilities and inspires us to do more things in the future. Many goals, accomplish those. You see it and you see the progress, and then you feel inspired to do bigger goals. So our people, I think, need to see progress. And any progress is great progress. People have been talking about how Project Repatriate has been going, and how we raising money and this and that, and how it started off slow or still starting off slow, but progress is progress. You have to take those things for what they are. It's a symbol of the fact that people do want to unite. Things may not move as fast as you have wished, or things may not go the way you want, or it may not look like it, but you have to keep pressing, and you have to know the end goal is worthy and that is going to come to fruition. That's what our ancestors are moving towards, and we have to join them. So Libation, African Repatriation Day, Fihankra. Remember these words, remember these phrases. Look it up on your own too. Get a little well versed in what those things mean. What's a libation? I mean, it's really easy. What's Fihankra? I just told you, but you can still look it up. African Repatriation Day, you're not going to find that online because we're making that up right now. We're showing that we can actually do something and bring it to reality. So, um, any questions, you can still leave them on the video. I'm going to go back and read and obviously go through the comments, answer. But those are the important things I want to touch on. I'll be doing another video probably between now and then. But definitely on the 9th, I'll be back online to do my libation live, and to talk more about Fihankra and the things that we were able to accomplish between now and that day. So thanks everybody for joining. Good to see you guys. It's been a long time, I know. But I'm getting ready to go to sleep. So I'll see you all tomorrow, or at least by the 9th, I'll definitely see you guys again. Appreciate it, and see you around. Kwame out.